Hello Foxies, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to explore a topic that I get asked a lot, and this is, how do I not look washed out when I have gray hair? I feel like I have no color in my face, or I don't know what's going on. I feel like I'm invisible. I hear a lot of comments pertaining to looking kind of washed out, and so that's what this video is going to be all about. Now, disclaimer, what I'm about to talk about today is not going to work on everybody. Everyone has their own skin type and texture and color, and so this is just products and things that I'm using currently that are working for me, and I thought I'd share that with you, and hopefully some of this information could be useful to you in some way, or that you just really enjoy the entertainment factor. I just want to let you know that this video is not sponsored or affiliated in any way. These are just makeup products that I have on hand that I just use daily, and so I will link everything down below, or not link, there are nothing with links here. I will list them down below, what it is that I'm using on my face, but they don't have any affiliate links attached to them whatsoever. So without further ado, let's get on to how to not look washed out with gray hair. So as I see it, there are three factors that contribute to you possibly looking washed out. And one of them is what colors are you wearing on your face, what colors you're wearing on your body, and what colors are you being seen with. Today I'm just going to focus on the face only. And all the information I have in this video, disclaimer, it's going to be just kind of what works with my skin tone. Obviously, if you have different skin than me, you want to change the colors a bit, because these colors that I'm going to use today are not going to work for everyone, but hopefully it can help some of you to explore some colors to help you feel like you're full of life. So right now I have a just plain base on. There's no contouring, there's nothing going on. I just have a bit of foundation practically everywhere. Now, one thing that's going to be different on my face that might be different on many other people's faces, that I already have black eyebrows, but they're also going to be a main feature of your face, which I'm not really going to focus on that a whole lot in this video. Now for myself, the first thing that I do after I apply my base is actually apply my contour. It doesn't really matter what you use for a contour, whether you're using powder or whether you're using cream. I just happen to have a cream stick. What is important is that it's darker than your skin tone and that it's cool in color and not warm in color. So I'm not looking for a reddish brown. I'm sort of looking for a cool taupey bluish brown. And mine is a cream stick, and I tend to not apply it right where the contour really would be, but a bit higher. I need to find myself a mirror for this. Okay, so as I apply this, I'm going to aim for it to be a little higher than where I really want it. Like right there, and I'm gonna start near kind of where my hairline is, and just make a stripe forward kind of like that, and I'm gonna make an equal one on the other side. Another thing I also want to make sure and do is that I'm sort of angling it upward. That's going to kind of give your face a nice shape as well. Don't worry, you're not going to really even see this very much afterwards. It's just going to put a little bit of a cool tone line there, so when we start putting and layering warm tones, it kind of has a nice, kind of looks like a painting, but you're painting your face. You may want to use a brush for this. I like to use my fingers. I like to use my fingers mainly because when I use my fingers, I'm not losing a lot of my product into the sponge or into the brush, that it's easy for me to blend out. So I just start by doing this, making the tapping motions going upwards and also down to the line where I want it to go. I just want it to be a soft line and not a harsh line. That's why I started above that point. And you can even bring it up a little bit. You just sort of want to blend it out so it looks natural. And now we're gonna go and do the other side. In fact, I can't really do this left-handed, so I'm gonna do this with my right hand as well. Okay, so now we already have a little bit of like shadow and light going on in our face, which helps a little bit with the coloring as well. So make sure that's blended out. I think so. Okay, so the next stage I'm gonna go in with, it kind of doesn't matter which one you do first, whether you do bronzer first or whether you do blush first. Usually I do bronzer first and blush last, but I've been kind of changing up what I do lately, and I've been doing blush first and putting a little bit more than usual on. My makeup collection's not very extensive. I have a total of 4 blushes, and I kind of use at least 3 out of the 4 nearly every time I do my makeup. I kind of combine some colors that I really enjoy. So this is by It Cosmetics. This one I really like because it's peachy. It's a very warm pink, and that's gonna help bring a lot of nice warm tones to my face. And I like to pair it with this very cool tone pink one. This one's by Flower Cosmetics. And I put them both on my face and the same area usually. I have the same designated brush I use all the time for blush. And I start with the peachy one first. And this is not ultra pigmented, this particular one, so I kind of load a lot of it on there. And I keep it above that contour line. In fact, I leave a sort of a space in between it a little bit, and I blush it around my upper cheek. I didn't used to put my blush on this way, but I'm finding I really like the results. I'm bringing the blush in a little further to my inner face. I'm still leaving a light inner triangle right here though, but it's a smaller triangle than I had before. And I bring the blush a little closer to the eye and also a little bit up too. And then when I'm done applying that one, I go in for the cooler tone. It's actually a little bit of a brighter blush, and I apply a bit of that as well. I used to think this much blush was totally overboard, but now I'm really liking how this looks. So this one's a brighter pink. I'm just gonna kind of go in the center of that one and apply. And then maybe even go back over both and just sort of lightly fluff it all around. I know it may seem like I have a lot of pink on my face right now, but it's going to get a lot better in just a moment. Now I have 2 other blushes. If I wanted to keep going, I could. I have one that's really dark, I very rarely use. Sometimes I use it when I'm contouring. I don't really enjoy this one for my face. I feel it's a little bit too dark. And then I have this one by Ofra, and it's really extra. It's like a rose gold, and it shows up a lot on my face. So if I'm having an extra day, I am putting this on too, but I think I'm gonna skip this today. So we can always come back and add more blush later, but for right now, I'm done with that. And I'm gonna go over to bronzer. Before, I was always unhappy with my bronzer. I had this one by Amuse. I thought it was far too yellow on my face. It didn't look good in videos. I'm like, this is terrible. I gotta stop using bronzer. So I picked up a different one. This is by Wet n Wild. It's called Ticket to Brazil. I've been using that one. As you can see, it's highly used. But also, it's still a little bit too light and almost a little bit too orangey. A little bit of like a pumpkin spice color, and it's not really for me. So in interest of this video today, I picked up a new bronzer. I decided to stick with the same company for a couple of reasons. It was the next shade darker, and it was also a little bit cooler. And I had a hard time finding this kind of a shade in a different brand while I was at the drugstore today. So this is the one I picked up. This is in the shade Sunset. In fact, it's not even open yet. And so I'm going to be trying this out for the first time, but I have a feeling this is going to give me the results that I'm going to be talking about. So I'm just going to be lightly applying bronzer in places on the perimeter of my face, kind of helping my face to recede into this cool background. You have this warm foreground, and giving your face a little bit more dimension, a little bit more color. I have a big brush here for bronzing, and I don't know how this is going to perform, so I'm just going to go very light-handed. I'm just going to pick up just a very tiny bit and start that way and see how it goes. Now for this, I'm going to go sort of in that area in between where I put that contour originally and where all this blush is. So it's going to be sort of in this area. I'm going to bring it up toward my forehead and around my temples. So it's going to be sort of in the perimeter of my face. and down on this part of my face too. So you'll see. Now I got this other product recently and I've started using it for kind of the wrong purpose. It is by Physicians Formula. It's actually a butter highlighter, but it's a highlighter that's far too dark for my skin, and I've been using this sort of as a bronzer too. It's like a dark bronzy gold. Very light-handed, but just a tiny bit of this to give it a little bit of reflect. I didn't really want to make my face shiny, especially in the shadows, but I feel this makes my tan look a little bit more authentic. Now to tie these colors in, I probably could also be putting them on the sides of my nose or in various areas of my face. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of that. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of color on either side of my nose. Not truly contouring it, but just sort of adding some of those same brownish tones. And then also maybe to the underside of my nose here. And as far as the face goes, you could kind of stop there, but I don't think I'm going to put any more on this part of my face, but I'm certainly going to do a little something with my eyes and my lips too. So with your eyes, you have so many options. I'm going to do something super basic today. Today I'm just going to pick a single eyeshadow that's very similar to my skin color, slightly darker and slightly warmer. My absolute favorite shade for this is one that's created by Jeffree Star. It is the shade Courtney. I use this all the time for this. So basically I'm just going to be applying this in my crease and just slightly above, just to give a little bit of color in that area where I have a hooded lid. So this is also a trick if you have a hooded lid, to put a little bit of color above the crease, and it helps that part of your eye to recede and not look so hooded. So I've got a round fluffy brush. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that eyeshadow, and as I look straight forward, I'm just going to keep it above my lid here, from a crease and slightly above. Even that out. There we go. Brings a nice peachiness into your eye area. If you don't have this color of eyeshadow, you can always use a very peachy colored blush for the same reasons. We're sort of just applying a blushiness to the eye. Now I left the lid part open because we're just going to pop a light color. So this is something you can even do with your fingers. I'm actually just going to go for the white in this pan here with my finger. And I'm just going to put it on this part of my lid, especially the inner corner. It'll help to give a little bit of dimension and contouring to your eye. There, that was easy. It's a very easy eyeshadow look. You can do this with cream shadows as well. Now, another way to enhance the dimensions of your face to not look washed out would be to use some sort of eyeliner around your eyelashes, especially if your eyelashes are kind of like a medium brown or very blonde or very sparse. Mine have to be quite black, but I'm going to put a little bit of eyeliner on anyway. Here I suggest using something that's not a black eyeliner. Something a little bit lighter, like a brown color or a dark purple, are always very flattering on everyone. I didn't bring eyeliner to the party, did I? Okay, the eyeliner that I'm going to use today is a purple violet eyeliner, and I'm just going to get very, very close to this lash line. You can also do this with an eyeshadow. So if you have a darker brown eyeshadow, you can kind of just stamp it in lightly. But I'm just coloring in literally the line where my eyelashes are, just to make them a little bit more pronounced around your eye area. Like that, nothing extra. I might also do that on my lower lash line, just right in the lashes themselves. You don't really want a full line going on, but just to put a tiny bit more color right there. So it's very subtle. I don't even know if we can see the difference between the two right now. Sometimes I even take a tiny little brush like this one and then go and smudge that out, or pick up a tiny bit of eyeshadow of a similar color and just go right in the same area. So I'm just going to take this one and use it to smudge it just a little bit. Now, one of the main things you can also do to kind of add color, dimension, and depth to your face so you don't feel washed out would be to work with your eyebrows. An eyebrow product that's similar to your natural color eyebrows and defining where they are a little bit. I have very heavy eyebrows, so I'm sorry I'm not very helpful in this category, but I'm gonna try a little bit. In fact, I think I have a brow video coming up. I have some brow products coming in. Have no idea how to use them, so we're gonna figure that out later. So basically I want my brows to have a nice shape to them, have them dark enough where they kind of frame my face, and for me, where they're a little bit thin is sort of in this area. This is actually, I don't have any brow products, this is a black eyeliner, but my eyebrows are black, so this is what I'm gonna use. And I'm just going to fill in a little bit to give them a better shape. This is an optional step. I love wearing mascara. If I wear anything, it's usually mascara. So I'm just gonna put some on today. I feel it helps to darken up at least the top part of my eyes or make them look a little bit more open or a little more dramatic. I like that look. Today I'm gonna try to keep as much with a naturalistic type of theme. So for my lips, I'm gonna choose a color that my lips are naturally, which is sort of a mauvey pink color. I have two lipsticks here in mind that I think might work well for me. This one I know would work well. It is the color of my lips naturally. I like this one a lot, but I just got this one recently and I'm tempted to use it. It looks a little bit more raspberry on camera. I'm gonna go with this one actually. I'm just looking for a very neutral but natural looking lip. So like I said, it's a little bit on the flushy pinky side, but it's a very mauvey natural tone, and that will also help to give a little bit of color to your face too. So I'm just gonna start by lining my lips, and I'm lining my lips in a color that's very similar, maybe a tiny bit darker. And this is actually just a colored lip gloss. Hopefully there's some still in this. I use this one a lot. And the look is complete. How to add a little bit of color to your face so you don't look washed out even when you have gray hair. Maybe we'll take a little before and after. So I think what we can take away from this is whatever your skin tone is, pick some colors that are warm in comparison to your skin and just play around with them. You're not gonna get it right necessarily the first time. I certainly haven't. Some of these products are very new to me because I didn't have it right before. But these are the colors that I feel like work really well with me, the peachy tones, the pink tones, and the mauve tones. And to have a little something everywhere on your face no matter where it is. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I want to thank you so much for sitting down with me today and doing a little bit of makeup. I know they're not the most popular videos that are on my channel, but I do enjoy making them, so I still want to have some here. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you know when I have a new video ready for you. I have a purple series definitely still going on. I have some new purple products, I think, coming in the mail today, so maybe within a few days we'll have another video in our purple series, and I'm having so much fun making that. I hope you have fun watching it. It's really interesting to explore how these different products actually affect your hair, whether they dry it out, whether they smell great, whether they make it shiny or blue, or whatever happens when you use that product on your hair. So I hope to see you back again very soon, and until then, stay foxy.